Be careful about what you think because your thoughts become reality. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's minimalism video is going to be 10 ways to use the law of manifestation. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. If you wish to help out my channel, consider checking out my Patreon, and if not, then just help me out with the algorithm by giving this video a thumbs up, a like, and a subscribe. Okay, let's get into the list. Today's video is going to be a little bit long. I'm going to be talking about the 10 ways to use the law of manifestation. And the reason that I wanted to make this video is because although my channel is primarily about minimalism, the law of manifestation has actually been something that was at the foundation of my YouTube channel. And it's something that has definitely helped a lot of my dreams come true, including manifesting a boyfriend, manifesting my YouTube channel, manifesting my goal body, weight, going to med school, having money, wealth. There's a lot of things that have come true because of my belief in myself and believing that there's abundance in the universe and the things that you want can come true if you truly believe, and it's not just like a load of bullshit. So I'm gonna be talking about the 10 ways after like I've been practicing this for 4 years. What are the things that have like really helped me and might help somebody else out if this is something that you're interested in? Number 1, vision board. I think that having a vision board is really useful. A lot of people say like writing it down helps a lot too, which is good too. But I think that having a vision board is something that really helped me a lot. When I was able to kind of see visually on the day-to-day the things that I wanted, they would enter into my subconscious and it would just kind of reinforce the idea over and over again that what I want can be a reality because it's already a reality, because it already exists in my mind. One of the Buddhist principles that I believe in a lot is that like your thoughts become your reality. So when you think about the things that you want, they become your reality. I know people say you should be realistic about this, but I have seen some like magical things happen. If you guys watch Amber Scholes, for somebody to tell her, you know what, don't dream this, don't dream that, it's just, you can't tell people there's limitations to reality. There isn't. Anything you want to manifest can come true. So I think having a vision board, if you can imagine it, it can be reality. All right, number 2. Write it down in a diary. And I do this one daily. I have like a diary that kind of looks similar to this notebook. And on the days that like I write down my thoughts in my diary, I also write down the things that like my thoughts, the thoughts that I have, the actions that I've put into play to make my dreams a reality. And writing out my thoughts also gives me the opportunity to kind of see to myself like, okay, I have these type of negative thoughts, or like these are my thoughts and my beliefs. And when I see those things, I'm able to kind of reflect on it and adjust as I go and understand, okay, like that's what I'm thinking and I gotta fix that, or like that's not working, or maybe in reality I don't really want that and that's not working out for me. So seeing it written out on like the months to months kind of helps reflect to you what like you really value and where you're actually going, and things that are like actually in your head. And it's not just like being in your head, but you're like actually putting it down on paper, because when it's in your head it just like floats there. It's just like you don't get it down on paper the way that like getting it down on paper works. A good analogy, there's this one YouTuber I follow, his name is Clark, and he was talking about how like what's in our minds is kind of like the engine of a car. If you put mud in it and you're expecting the car to run smoothly, it's not gonna run smoothly, so you gotta clean out the engine of the car. So it's like the same thing. Putting your thoughts onto paper is like dumping it out and putting it here, so it's no longer like just like clogging up your brain. Number 3, pray for it. Faith in a higher power. I think this one is a little bit tough, especially if a lot of people don't really believe in religion or don't believe in a higher power or a God or whatever, but it isn't that. I mean, you could also believe in the universe, you could believe in the laws of physics, whatever it is that you may have a belief in, or whether you don't, but this is something that has like really worked for me. I went through periods of time in my life where I didn't believe in God and I felt like God had abandoned me. Like, how could I ask things of God and God doesn't see it through? Like, I'm doing my best, like I'm working hard, I'm doing this, and my prayers fall on deaf ears. So it was like really difficult for me. But the thing that you have to understand is that faith, when you truly believe and have faith in the Lord, that maybe what God's giving you or what your higher power or the law of manifestation is giving you is different but better for you, all of a sudden it takes away that frustration and that like lack of belief that like sometimes like, God, I really want this and I really want that and it's not coming true. I have found in my life when I would let go of expectations, better things came into my life. And I know that's like really hard to wrap your head around, but you have to have a belief in a higher power and you have to let go of the power that you think that you have full control, which you don't. A lot of things that happen in our lives happen in ways that are just like beyond what we expected could happen, that it just makes you think like there had to have been a higher power. And I'm not judging if people are not about, you know, a higher power, whatever, it's not, but I'm just saying that like for myself, I found that something that really helped up my law of manifestation when I believed in the universe and like abundance or like a higher power or something greater beyond myself, that once I relinquished control over thinking I had control over my ultimate fate and just working on like the actions that I could do and that like the final result was going to be from God. Number 4, have goals doesn't need to be realistic. I think that's kind of one of the interesting things about the law of manifestation is this idea that goals don't need to be realistic. Like I've always heard in a lot of tips and trick videos, you know what, like set your goals, but make sure they're realistic. Like you're not going to lose X and Y pounds overnight. And I think there is some truth to it. But I also believe that with the law of manifestation, certain things happen beyond what we believe to be realistic. Like when lottery winners win, is that realistic? But it happened. So it's the same thing with the law of manifestation. You shouldn't put blockades for yourself and think the things that you want are unrealistic given your circumstances. Our dreams and our hopes are the motivators that drive us to do the unthinkable, the things that make us do or lay the foundation step by step that take us closer to our goals. And it's the exact same thing with having goals and deciding I'm going to have this goal and I'm not going to care that it's unrealistic. If I truly believe that it's going to happen, you start to lay the foundation towards it. So I'll use myself as an example. I never thought that my YouTube channel would have the level of success that it does now, and I'm super grateful for it. And I never thought when I was in high school, when I wanted to start my channel, that I would ever have the confidence to get up here in camera and like talk to hundreds of people. But here I am, and it all happened because I set a goal that was larger than myself, that inspired me and motivated me to pursue something grand. Like if it's like a small little goal that's no bigger than yourself, then you just feel like that's like small thinking. But the big dreams and the big things, those are things that like inspire like awe and magic in yourself. So why wouldn't you want to have that? Number 5, be clear about what you want. I think this tip also ties in with like writing it down, but being very clear about what you want makes life a lot easier. Do you ever get anxiety when things are not very clear, things are very ambiguous, and you're kind of unsure and nervous and it doesn't feel good? But if you're very clear about things, or things are very like, things have been clarified and it's like, this is exactly what it is, you feel like, oh yeah, I feel secure, I get it, I know exactly what's expected of me, or like what this is about. It's a much better feeling. And the same thing for your goals. Like if you're unclear about your goals, you're not gonna have a good time and you're not gonna know what to pursue because like you're not really sure. You're just kind of like, yeah, let's just see what comes. And it's like something comes along and you're like, I don't know if I should like wait for better or not, because like this is here, but what about... No, when you're clear about your goals, as things come along, it's like, that doesn't suit me, that doesn't suit me, that doesn't suit me. And when it does come, you're like, yes, I'm clear to myself that that's what I want, so I recognize that that's what I want. So number 6, take action. This is the flip side of the law of manifestation. I think there's like 2 parts. One part is having like the belief and understanding what you want, and the other flip side is, okay, you gotta take action. Just like praying to God for winning the lottery, but you haven't bought the lottery ticket. You gotta at least meet the higher power halfway, or the universe halfway, and that's like, you gotta do some action about it. Like as great as it is to like dream, dreaming is like the motor in the car, but you still gotta turn on the car to like get going. Taking action is also really important. You can do so by like writing down on a paper what are the steps that you're going to take. So another example is like, I wanted to have a certain type of figure, so I had to create an action plan. Like, what kind of food am I going to eat? What am I not going to eat? What am I going to work out? How often am I going to work out? Like having the foundation of action to lift up your dreams. Like it's like, if your dreams are up here, you still need the actionable solid foundation. So as great as it is to dream, we still got to do something about it. Number 7, trust the process. Trusting the process has, for me, been the most difficult thing about the law of manifestation, is believing that this process is taking me where I want to go. Although it may not look like it's taking me where I want to go, it's taking me there. That blind belief is probably one of the hardest things I think that maybe a lot of us have encountered in terms of like reaching our goals, because you have to believe in something that doesn't exist as if it existed. Like that's just like in the level of crazy. Like it's not real, and you got to pretend that it's already real. Like that's like a huge mind flip, and that's the thing that I still struggle with myself the most. But it's trusting the process, and this is really important, because when you fall down, you're like, F this, I don't want to do this, this is not working, like I'm wasting my time, like what am I doing? You lose that driver and that self-belief in yourself, and those are the times where you have to remember to tell yourself, you have to trust the process. Trust me, I know it's really difficult, but it's super important. I'll give myself an example. When I was doing my YouTube channel, for me, my YouTube channel went nowhere. I was stuck at 300 subscribers for like 2 years, when people would be like, I gained 1,000 subscribers a month, and I'm like, I have 300 subscribers and I still had to get on camera and film and act as if like my channel had blown up. It was like the most difficult thing of life. So when things finally like picked up, I was like, you know, 4 years later, I was like, wow, if I had given up when things were dark and I stopped trusting the process, I would never have even gotten here. I wouldn't have gotten to 700 subscribers, which is like double what I had then, and I got it in like 3 months. So what I'm trying to say is, when you fall down, you have to remind yourself that if you've already decided that this is really important for you, you have to trust the process. Number 8, increase your vibration. So the thing about the law of manifestation is, what you put out into the universe is what you get back. So we got to increase our frequency, because if you don't increase your frequency, when certain things come into your life, if you're not ready or you're not on that same level of frequency, you won't match and it's not going to happen. A good way to think about it is, like, if you're a bum and you're like trying to like date like people who like got their shit together and like they got a great career and like a great bod, and you're like in the worst of conditions, they'll look at you and they'll be like, why would I go for that? And vice versa. Like, you're just banging and living your best life. Are you going to be tolerating somebody who's like, you're like, you don't got your shit together? Well, it's the exact same thing with the law of manifestation. You have to get yourself onto a certain frequency or a certain vibration to attract what you want. So if you're thinking, you know what, like, I want a lot of money, well, what are you putting in to get that? And vice versa. Anything that you can dream, or anything that's in your list or your like law of manifestations, the things that you want, you have to put in, I guess, the effort to get the results. And that's just one of the like the physics law, equal reaction. You got to put in as much effort to gain as much as you want. And just maybe a little bit more on that, if it's maybe not too clear, like, oh, what do you mean by like increase your frequency? It just means that you have to put yourself on that same level or that same mindset, or I guess like in that law of physics, the same energy as the things that you want to attract. You have to be the thing that you want to attract, whatever that may be, and you'll attract it once you become it. So you have to work towards it. All right, number 9, resistance is needed. This is an interesting one, and the way that I always think about it is, in chemistry, if you guys know anything about chemistry, when you need to overcome a certain reaction, there's like a chart where like the energy goes up, and you have to overcome a certain energy to be able to enter another like state. So like when converting chemicals or things like that, like you have to overcome a certain energy and then it reaches like the higher level. It was the exact same thing with like overcoming certain things. And so that resistance is needed. When something is really difficult in your life, that means that you're making progress for something better. When you overcome hardships, the fruit at the end of your labor is all that much sweeter. The big things that we want in our life are not going to come easy, and we have to work really hard towards it, and we have to appreciate and understand that the resistance that we're experiencing is because the thing that we're trying to get is worth that much more. Like, if it was that easy, we would all have the office job and the expensive car, but we don't. It's the amount of effort and energy that people are willing to put in to be able to generate the hopes and dreams that we want. So when you're experiencing resistance, be glad, because that means that what you're going for is that much more greater, just literally by like the law of manifestation. All right, number 10, focus on what you're focused on. The law of manifestation doesn't discriminate. It's going to manifest whatever you want. If you're always thinking negative thoughts and you're always just like bad attitude, the law of manifestation is going to give you more of that, because that is what you embody. So you have to focus on making yourself what you want it to become. Like, if you want to attract good people into your life, surprise, you're going to have to become a better person. If you want to attract success in a certain career, or you're going to just have to put more into that career, and you're going to have to become a successful person to be able to attract more success in your life. So the caveat about the reason I mentioned focused on what you focus on, you have to be really careful that you're not self-sabotaging. If you're constantly thinking thoughts like, I need more money, if you're thinking there's need, there's lack, you're gonna generate more lack. You're not gonna generate more money. Or if you believe like, I can't find somebody special, I can't find somebody special, I want somebody special, you're putting out into the universe that you don't have someone special. So surprise, you're not gonna get someone special. So the thing that we have to do is we have to be very careful about how we think about things. Be careful about what you think, because your thoughts become reality. Okay, this video is super long, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!